Oh wow, Anna Wintour has just banned Meghan Markle and Prince Harry from the Met Gala. So if you're Meghan Markle, what do you do at that moment? First, you set up some paparazzi pictures in Montecito. We're not even going to go there, folks.
On May 4, the biggest stars from fashion, movies, and music will walk up the famous steps of the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. The Met Gala 2026 themed costume art dress code fashion, as Art BANS is coming back after 10 years, and will serve as co-chair. Nicole Kidman, Venus Williams, and Anna Wintour are running the event. Like always, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez are the main sponsors, reportedly paying such a huge amount that the museum is not revealing them. Tickets cost $100,000 each. A table for 10 starts at $350,000. Around 400 of the most powerful people in the world will be inside, and Meghan Markle will be watching from home again. Because according to several reports, the Duchess of Sussex was not invited, and no matter what she may think, that invite is not coming. If you want to understand why Meghan has been left out of fashion's biggest night, and what it says about her real place in Hollywood, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because this story reveals everything.
No, Meghan and Harry were not invited again, and they thought that this could be their year.
Let me explain exactly what happened. According to Heat magazine, Meghan still believes she will get an invite. She is not ready to accept that it will not happen. A source said Meghan thinks she had a very nice interaction with Anna Wintour in Paris last year, and that Wintour acted like past issues were over. That moment happened during Paris Fashion Week. In November 2025, Meghan went to Balenciaga's show alone. Insiders say she invited herself, showed up late, and positioned herself on the red carpet to get attention. At one point, she met Anna Wintour. The 76-year-old Vogue editor said, "Nice to see you." Then she looked at Meghan's outfit and added, "Beautiful Sherry, you look amazing." For Meghan, sources say that short exchange felt like a fresh start, a sign that the cold tension from before was gone. But here is what really happened. The Met Gala is now less than 24 hours away, and there is still no invitation. A source told Heat that even with the event so close, there has been no invite, making it harder to deny that this is a clear snub, a deliberate snub. Those are strong words, but when you look at Meghan's history with Anna Wintour, they start to make sense. Let's go back to 2022. According to Paula Froelic's Inside Scoop newsletter, there were tense talks about Meghan possibly getting a British Vogue cover. The deal reportedly collapsed because Meghan made very high demands. She wanted control over the editorial content. She wanted it to be a global cover, not just British, and she asked for a direct Zoom call with Anna Wintour. A source said clearly, nobody gets that, not even BANS. Anna Wintour was not impressed at all. The cover never happened, and insiders say she has not warmed up to Meghan since. Now think about who Anna Wintour is. She is not just an editor, she is likely the most powerful person in fashion. She decides who attends the Met Gala. She personally approves every guest. She controls seating. She runs everything. She is also close friends with King Charles and the British royal family. When Harry and Meghan left the royal family, they did not just lose titles, they lost connections built over generations. Anna Wintour was part of that network, and unlike others who stayed neutral, she seems to have taken a side.
So we're not going to do that. Let me talk you through it. Paula writes, the invitations for the May the 4th Met Gala have gone out, and Prince Harry and Meghan Markle didn't make the cut. The snub stings particularly hard for the Duchess, who actually had a shot at attending this year's costume art-themed event, given that two of the co-chairs, Beyoncé and Venus Williams, have loose connections to her social circle.
BANS say Anna Wintour was clearly not impressed. The cover never happened, and insiders say she has kept her distance from Meghan ever since. Now think again about Anna Wintour. She is not just a magazine editor, she is one of the most powerful figures in fashion. She controls who gets invited to the Met Gala. She approves every name. She decides seating. She runs the entire event. She is also a close friend of King Charles and the royal family. When Harry and Meghan stepped away, they did not just leave duties behind, they also lost access to elite networks built over many years. Anna Wintour was part of that system, and instead of staying neutral, she appears to have chosen a side. So let's break it down clearly. Paula wrote that invitations for the May 4 Met Gala have already gone out, and Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were not included. The snub hits especially hard for Meghan, because she actually had a chance to attend this year's costume art-themed event, since co-chairs Beyoncé and Venus Williams have some connection to her circle. Now let's talk about Beyoncé. She is co-chairing the Met Gala this year, her first time back in 10 years. Her last appearance was that famous latex Givenchy look in 2016. Her return is one of the biggest celebrity moments of the year. Beyoncé was once seen as a supporter of Meghan. After the Oprah interview, she praised Meghan's bravery and leadership. So why has she not helped? According to Heat, Beyoncé either could not or chose not to secure an invitation. For Meghan, the source suggested that even co-chairs have limits when it comes to Anna Wintour's decisions. Then there are the sponsors. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez are major figures for the 2026 Met Gala. They are funding a big part of the event and have influence, but Meghan did not get support from them either. Reports say Meghan and Lauren Sanchez never had a strong relationship. Even though they live in the same social area, they were never close. And when it came to the guest list, there was no Pushed to include Meghan, a source said it's simply the last thing the Met Gala team wants is extra drama on their biggest night. So it is no surprise they were left out. The source added that there are already too many big personalities to manage, so from Anna's view, they are not worth the trouble, not worth the trouble. That is how one of fashion's top decision makers sees them. And it gets worse. The same source said the fashion world is still about popularity, and the Sussexes are no longer part of that inner circle. They believe Harry and Meghan see themselves on the same level as BANS, but they have not earned that status, have not earned that 6 years after leaving the royal family. That is how insiders view them.
Don't invite them because it becomes all about them and nothing about Kris Kardashian, whose 70th birthday it was, nothing about Jeff or Lauren, and of course Anna Wintour, who is head of Vogue and the Met Gala, is a huge fan of the actual royals and does not like Meghan.
The Met Gala is more than just a party. It shows your place in the cultural world. Getting invited means you belong. Not being invited means you do not. For Meghan, who has spent years trying to build a strong image in American celebrity culture, this rejection hurts more. Look at who gets invited. Kate Middleton attended the Met Gala in 2024, becoming only the second royal ever to do so. Princess Beatrice was the first. Kate was welcomed warmly. She wore Oscar de la Renta. She was in with Anna Wintour. She fit in easily. Meghan, however, has never attended the Met Gala, not as a royal, not after leaving, not as a media figure, not as a businesswoman. And based on current reports, that is unlikely to change soon. The Paris Fashion Week situation did not help either. Sources say Meghan showing up uninvited at Balenciaga's show upset people. Her late arrival and red carpet behavior were called out as awkward. Balenciaga's designer reportedly confirmed she invited herself. Message was clear, she was not expected there. Then there was the Kris Jenner birthday photo issue. In November 2025, Meghan attended Kris Jenner's 70th birthday. Kim Kardashian posted a group photo that included Meghan. Days later, the photo was deleted without explanation. But the message seemed obvious. Including Meghan can create complications for someone trying to fit into Hollywood's top circle. These are serious signs. The Met Gala snub is just the latest example of a pattern building over time. Spotify reportedly called them grifters. Netflix was said to be losing interest. Their projects have not performed as expected. Now the fashion world is showing they are not part of its most exclusive space. A source said people are simply over her, that Meghan takes over every room, takes over every room. That is how someone in fashion described her. To be fair, a spokesperson denied that Meghan cares about attending the Met Gala. Maybe that is true. Maybe she does not mind missing an event filled with powerful figures, maybe watching from home. While BANS say Nicole Kidman and Venus Williams host is fine for her. But many sources say otherwise. They describe someone who was excited after meeting Anna Wintour, who thought it meant a fresh start, and who still believes an invitation will come. If that is true, the reality may be difficult, because while Meghan stays in Montecito, the fashion world moves on without her. BANS will return in a big way. Rihanna will likely shine again. Zendaya will wear something bold and unique. The Kardashians will dominate headlines. And in a luxury home in California, Meghan will not be there, not because she could not pay, not because she was busy, but because the decision makers chose not to include her. That is Meghan Markle's reality. In 2026, she left the royal system to build her own path. She wanted independence. She wanted to succeed on her own. And now, years later, she cannot get invited to this event. The red carpet starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. The biggest names will attend. Meghan Markle will not. What do you think? Is Anna Wintour right? Should BANS have helped? And what does this say about Meghan's position in Hollywood? Share your thoughts below. And if this video helped you understand the story, subscribe and share it, because when powerful people shut the door, it says everything. What makes this situation even more telling is how silence is being used as a message in Hollywood, and high fashion doors rarely close loudly. Instead, they just stop opening. No official ban, no public rejection, just a quiet absence that speaks for itself. And that is exactly what seems to be happening here. There is no statement saying Meghan is not welcome, but there is also no invite, no outreach, no sign of inclusion. In circles where presence is everything, absence becomes the loudest signal. It tells people where you stand without anyone having to say a word. And for someone trying to rebuild influence and relevance, that kind of silence can be more damaging than direct criticism, because you cannot respond to it, you cannot argue with it, and you cannot spin it. It simply exists, shaping perception in the background while everyone else moves forward. Another layer to this story is how perception shapes reality in elite spaces. In industries like fashion and entertainment, people are not just judged by what they do, but by how others react to them. Reputation travels fast, and once a certain narrative takes hold, it becomes difficult to reverse. Whether fair or not, labels stick. If someone is seen as difficult, attention-seeking, or unpredictable, that perception alone can influence invitations, partnerships, and opportunities. And the problem is these decisions are often made behind closed doors based on conversations the public never hears. So even if Meghan believes she is being misunderstood, the people making these calls may already have made up their minds. And in a world where image is everything, that gap between self-perception and industry perception can become a serious obstacle. There is also the question of timing and strategy. Walking away from the royal family was a massive decision, one that came with both freedom and risk. The expectation may have been that Hollywood and global celebrity culture would fully embrace that move, opening new doors and creating new opportunities. And to some extent that did happen in the beginning: big interviews, major deals, global attention. But sustaining that momentum is a completely different challenge. Initial curiosity can fade, and what remains is the need to deliver consistent value, strong relationships, and a clear identity. Without that, the spotlight starts to shift elsewhere. And when newer, more in-demand personalities enter the scene, the competition becomes even tougher. In that context, events like the Met Gala become less about glamour and more about relevance. Finally, this situation highlights a bigger truth about power and access. Influence is not just about money, fame, or titles. It is about relationships, trust, and how you are perceived within a network. The Met Gala is controlled by a small group of decision-makers who prioritize stability, image, and control over their event. From their perspective, every guest adds something to the night, but also brings a certain level of risk. So choices are made carefully, sometimes coldly, based on what benefits the event the most. And if someone is seen as a potential source of distraction or controversy, they may simply be left out, no matter how famous they are. That is not unique to Meghan. It is how these circles operate. The real takeaway is that access is never guaranteed. It has to be maintained, protected, and constantly reinforced. And once it starts to slip, getting it back is often harder than getting it in the first place.